Good morning, everybody. I'm John Lazat. I'm the director of Rescue Rollers. I'm here with Vikki Arlen. She has fostered many dogs for our rescue. She's currently got two, and we're here to talk about what's involved in fostering, how easy it is, or how hard it is, challenges, all that good stuff. And I wanted to go to the source, somebody that's an actual foster. And so here's Vikki. We're going to talk about it. Um, Vikki, when you fostered your first dog through Rescued Rollers, how long was it since you had a dog previously?
It's been 20 years since we've had a dog in our home.
Okay, so 20-year lag time, you basically went into fostering blind. You wanted to help these dogs, right?
Correct.
Okay. What do you like best about fostering?
Well, what I like best about it, John, is that Rescue Rollers takes care of everything. They gave us all the equipment we needed. They took care of all the vet bills. They educated us on what to expect with fostering. So it was a very easy transition.
So you weren't on your own. They didn't just hand you a dog and you're stuck on your own.
Right, we had a support group.
Okay. Um, what are some of the challenges of being a foster? Well, I mean, what was the hard part?
You don't know what the dog's background is, so you're coming into it kind of blind. That you have to be patient and wait for the dog to acclimate to you. I think is challenging.
A new dog coming in, you mentioned you don't know their history. Do you give them typically like time to decompress? Do you try and have high expectations for them right away? I mean, how do you, if you're bringing a dog and you don't know the history, um, is there a transition period before that dog starts to get used to your home and the real personality comes out?
Yes, we kind of look at it 3-3-3. First
Okay.
3 days, we let them acclimate themselves. We don't push anything.
Okay.
Then the
Like-
first three, yes.
Like just settle down and calm down from wherever they came from.
Right. If they want to be left alone, we leave them alone. We show them where their dog dishes and everything, and let them acclimate. Then the next 3 weeks, we start to get more involved with their personalities and stuff like that. That starts to come out, and
That's probably when
we
they start
interact
to.
better with them.
That's probably when they start to realize routine. By 3 weeks, you would think they're starting to figure out how your household works.
Right, and that they're safe. They come into it not knowing what to expect. Also.
Sure, we may love them, but you can't bring a dog in your house and expect them to love you immediately in most
Right.
cases because they don't
Right.
know who you are, right?
Right.
Okay. Um, so, what do you like best about fostering?
You get to interact with different kinds of dogs. If you're looking to adopt eventually, you can foster different dogs to see which one is the better fit for the family.
Yeah, like test it out.
Right, right. And you're not obligated. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit.
Right, and I imagine at that point you just talk to the rescue and say it's not a good fit, right?
Right, right.
Um, any other things that you really like?
Well, no, I think we touched base on most of it. The dogs themselves will let you know
Yeah.
a lot of the information.
Okay, good. So how about challenges? What kind of challenges? You already mentioned the little transition period when you bring them in. That's a challenge to give them their space. What other challenges when you bring a new dog in that you haven't had a dog in 20 years? What kind of challenges did you have?
I had to retrain myself on what it's like to have a dog in the house. You just can't, go off and do your own thing. You've got to remember that there's a dog that's depending on you, and they need to go out. They need exercise and love and attention. And
So you were adjusting you're adjusting your routine the same as they're adjusting theirs.
right, right.
What about, since we're on challenges, what about if you hadn't had a dog in 20 years, what about things like training? Were you able, or even support if you needed advice from the rescue? What kind of resources were you able to draw upon if this was new to you?
Well, there's wonderful resources available. The rescue is always the first step that I go to, and then they can direct me. If they can't help me, they can direct me to someone who can.
And that would be the same too if you're going to foster for a shelter. A lot of shelters have foster programs just like the rescues do, and so there's support out there. So what about medical care?
Oh, the rescue takes care of all medical care.
Okay.
They supply you with everything that you need
Like-
to get started.
like-
If you need a crate, if you need
Oh, okay.
leashes,
Supplies.
supplies, harnesses, crate, if you want to crate train the dog, puppy pads, all that stuff,
Okay.
they supply.
So you really didn't have any expenses as a foster?
No out-of-pocket expenses.
How about like vet appointments? I know you just said the rescue would pay for that.
Right.
Was it I assume because the dog is with you, you'd be the one taking it to a vet appointment. It knows you, it's comfortable with you.
Right.
Is that a problem in your schedule? Did your dogs need a lot of vetting, for instance?
Our dogs did need some vetting. The vets were very good at scheduling around our schedule, and it was very easy.
Okay, good. What else would you like to add? Is there anything you'd like to tell anybody that might be watching?
Absolutely. I would like to say that anybody can be a foster. If you have a caring, giving heart and a place to take care of your dog, your foster dog, anybody can be a foster. It doesn't matter if you have dogs or cats. The dogs can acclimate to your schedule, your needs. These dogs need a loving, caring home and to feel safe. And so if you can offer that, anybody can be a foster.
And I know right now, at this particular point in time, rescues and shelters are struggling to find fosters. And at the end of the day, that affects how many dogs rescues can save, and it affects how many dogs the shelters can save or have up for adoption. So I also imagine, or I know personally, I've fostered a lot of dogs in my life. Fostering can save these dogs' lives. The shelters get overcrowded, they have to euthanize for that. I run a special needs rescue. I cannot bring dogs in unless I have fosters. And these guys are usually the last ones to be fostered or adopted, and they're usually the first ones to be put down because their medical expenses are hard. Now, Vikki has 2 blind and deaf dogs, Crash and Iris, that she adopted through our rescue, and she saved their lives. It's important. So that's my speech. Is there anything else you want to tell them about fostering in general? I mean, anything you want to add?
Well, it's very rewarding. You get back as much as they get from you, the dogs, and it's a good community service, and I highly recommend it.
Okay, good. So if you recommend it to them, if your situation was allowable to that, would you foster again?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a very positive way to go.
Okay, so my last question that just popped into my head. How about timeline? When the rescue approached you to foster, and I assume this is the same with the shelter, there's going to be a period where you have to take care of the dog's health issues and everything, but with a normal healthy dog, do you have a time frame? Like, did they say you're going to foster for a week or 2 weeks, or how did that work? How did you know how long you might be fostering before this dog got adopted?
I don't recall a timeline. I just know that I decided personally that I was going to foster as long as necessary.
As long as it took.
Right.
And I
right.
imagine, especially with our dogs, the rescue rollers, some of them get adopted quickly, like Crash and Iris. Other ones take a lot longer. The wheelchair dogs are hard. All right, folks, so there you have it. I want to thank Vikki for taking the time to talk with us. If you have any questions at all about fostering, you can reach out to Rescued Rollers. You can find us on Facebook /Rescued Rollers. You can also find us on our website at rescuedrollers.com. Thanks for taking the time today, Vicki. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye.